TNA Wrestling is on a surge, riding the wave, a massive wave. See how I tied Southern California into that? And a TNA Wrestling staple, TNA Wrestling icon from Southern California, where Rebellion pay-per-view, massive event, exciting event, is set for Sunday, April 27th at the Galen Center on the campus of USC, Go Trojans, in Los Angeles. He is in the main event, going for the title. He's in a three-way. There's Ethan Page and Champ Joe Hendry, who has this massive buzz going on. But let me tell you something. This six-time X Division champ, three-time TNA World Tag Champ. He is a champion galore. I think we should be saying, do you believe in Frankie Kazarian? Yes, Frankie. Tell us about the big match coming up.
I like that. I like the do we believe in Frankie Kazarian? Yes, this Sunday. One of the biggest matches, if not the biggest match in my career. And it just so happens to be in my backyard in beautiful Southern California at the Galen Center, where the USC Trojans play basketball. Very much a full circle moment for me. Big day for TNA. We're firing on all cylinders. We always deliver on pay-per-view. This Sunday will be no exception.
Frankie, what do you think of this rise, this surge of TNA Wrestling? You've been there a long time. Have you ever seen it this hot?
Yeah, it's, I don't know that I have. I mean, arguably when we, first got onto Spike TV and, there was a lot of buzz about the company then. And, but I don't know if there's ever been a time where there's been more people talking and more people interested about the product. Certainly the relationship with WWE and NXT has a lot to do with that. But more than that, just how hard everybody in the company has worked, the men and women in the ring, the people behind the scenes and management in every aspect. Everybody is working towards the same goal, and that is to get more eyes on TNA and to show the wrestling world what we are really capable of doing.
Frankie, how much fun are you having now? You've been doing this a while. This now, we've seen you other places. You've done well all over the place. I mean, all around the world. Just how much fun are you still having with all this?
Yeah, I'm having a blast. The last several years since I came back to TNA have been amongst the funnest of my career. We got an incredible locker room here. It's good to be doing what I'm doing in TNA, where I've, the bulk of my history is in this company. And I'm, kind of the OG of the company and the elder statesman. And I'm having an incredible time being that veteran, the guy that can be a voice of reason in the locker room, a guy that the younger people can come and talk to. And I'm just enjoying the energy that's around TNA right now, and how everybody is really working towards continuing to just grow this and to see where we can take it.
Speaking of talent, and in your match, you've got Ethan Page, who's been coming on really strong. And, of course, Joe Hendry. We just saw him at WrestleMania, for God's sakes. I mean, it's just a lot going on there. What are your thoughts of some of the talent like Ethan Page and Joe Hendry? I know you want to win the title. I know you want to beat them both.
Yeah, I mean, look at Joe Hendry. I mean, there's nothing I can say that hasn't been said in the last year. I mean, this year he's had, it's pretty much unrivaled in, his popularity and how he's burst onto the scene. And a lot of people are discovering TNA through Joe Hendry. And I'm as a person that loves TNA, I'm very grateful for that. And Ethan Page brings a completely different persona, a different skill set, but equally as lethal and as dangerous. And I've got another guy kind of like myself that bet on himself and is out there proving to the world that he's for real. So it's, I've make no mistake, I know I'm in for the fight of my life, but those gentlemen should know that this weekend as well. Difference is I'm playing a home game. I'm in my backyard, and I've never wrestled for the TNA World Title in Southern California. So I damn sure I'm not going to disappoint.
TNA Rebellion, Sunday, April 27th at the Galen Center on the campus of USC in Los Angeles. Frankie Kazarian has the home court, home field, home mat advantage. But I'll say this too. It's also TNA is going to stay in Southern California Thursday and Friday, May 1st and 2nd, at the Bren Event Center on the campus of UC Irvine in Irvine. And Frankie, I got to ask you this. You're one heck of a pro wrestler, but you're not a bad baseball player, too. Tell us what happened at UC Irvine, throwing out the first pitch for the game against UCLA. How'd you do, Frankie? I know how you did, but tell us how you did.
I'm a huge baseball fan. I threw a strike right across home plate. I think it was clocked at 97. I'm not sure. I'll have to ask my people about that, but it was a great time chatting with the management and the people involved and some of the players. Look, at any excuse I can have to go see a ball game, I'm all about it. I'm a huge baseball fan. I did tell UC Irvine's coach that if you need someone to come in about the 5th or 6th inning, throw about 30 pitches, I could do that. I was hopefully you'll see some of the footage on TNA. I was talking about my love for field preparation, which people might not know, but there's a lot of hard work that goes into that. I'm a fan of it. I can talk baseball all day, so it was cool to go there promoting TNA and the television tapings we're going to be having there next week. And it was cool to watch a baseball game, man.
Hey, are you a bigger baseball fan than Rhino is, a Tigers fan? I want to know.
Considering I'm an Angels fan and they're the last decade they've been playing, yet I'm still following them avidly, I would say yes, because we've had some very, very lean years, but I'm hanging in there and watch every game I can. I love baseball. I love the Angels. So you got to be a diehard fan if you're an Angels fan.
Oh, that's so cool. Did you have a favorite player growing up? And also, hey, Angels won the World Series. Quick. I know we don't have a lot of time, but quick story. Sure. One of the Angels relievers, he was like setup man, Scott Shields, is from our area here in South Florida. He grew up here and played ball here. So follow him.
I remember winning. Oh yeah, I remember the Shields years. I remember that. Yeah, he had some good quality years here. Growing up, I was always an Angel fan, but my favorite player growing up was Jose Canseco. I grew up a huge Bash Brothers fans. I love McGuire too, but Canseco was my guy, especially when I first got into trading baseball cards. I still have all my Canseco cards. He was, the pro wrestling fan in me saw this big, jacked up, charismatic, good looking dude that was just smashing home runs and stealing bases. Honestly, I don't know if he gets the respect he should. He was way ahead of his time. Got a 240-pound guy like that, stealing bases. It just wasn't, he was built differently. And I know there's a lot of controversy surrounding him, but I hope Jose gets his flowers. But the Angels used to do spring training out where I live here, so I was able to see Jose. But growing up, huge Angel fan, huge Jose Canseco fan. I loved anything baseball, and I still kind of do.
Yeah, it's interesting with Jose because what he did. Ricky Henderson is another one. I mean, he did for a leadoff guy, hit a lot of homers. Big guy, wasn't big as Jose, but he could steal bases. But Jose, you're right. As far as a big guy, Jose took that to another level. And him and McGuire, the Bash brothers, that was just great times with the A's.
Yeah, just broke the mold, like baseball players didn't look like that. And he drew so much attention outside of the field. You see that all the time now, but mid 80s, early 90s, you didn't see that. Jose was one of the first baseball players that had paparazzi following him around and stuff. It's very, I hope someday somebody makes a documentary about him, because I think there's a lot of stuff, good stuff that people don't know about him. They only kind of have read the negative. And I'm a Jose guy to this day, man.
All right. So were you there when Johnny Damon and AJ were at TNA Wrestling? And how much did you mark out to that if you were there during that time?
Yeah, I was there. It was good to meet those guys. One time, David Epstein even showed up, and I was, I got to go thank him for being a part of that 2002 Angels World Series. AJ Przinsky, very, very cool guy. Didn't really want to get too friendly with him because he was part of that controversial White Sox win that got them in the playoffs. So I had a little bit of a bad taste in my mouth, so I didn't really want to get too friendly.
Hit him with a chair. You should have hit him with a chair. Come on,
know. Yeah, I know. It was cool. It was cool though, having that mashup and having those guys come to the shows. And man, we have, honestly, talking to these guys, we have a lot in common. Even though it's pro wrestling and baseball is completely different, but just the athlete and the performer and the travel and all that, and being away from our family. all those guys I've met have been very, very cool dudes and really just understand like the lifestyle.
Yeah, Frankie, all the sports. I mean, come on, they're playing 162 games a year.
Right.
That's just crazy. It's crazy and all. But anyway, that's so cool about the baseball. When I grew up, I was Dodgers fan, but I'm going way back. I'm talking Steve Garvey, Davey Lopes, Bill Russell, that whole crew, and all. And then I became a Marlins fan because now I've lived in South Florida, and we finally got the Marlins. So
understood.
It's fun. I love it. I love going to the games. It's so much fun.
Nothing better, man. Nothing better than a day of the baseball field. It's it's the greatest sport. Again, I don't think baseball. You just said 162 games. People will say baseball's soft and everything, but look at that schedule is the furthest thing from soft. You got to be the real deal to endure a full season of baseball.
And Frankie, we got Florida and California, 2 places you can play baseball year round. So there's a lot of talent coming out of both states.
Yep, exactly. Both are good baseball states.
All right, Frankie, we'll wrap it up with this. I wanted to ask you about your music. So first, your music. So tell me, what's going on? Anything coming up or going on with your music?
My band has been in a bit of a holding pattern for the last year or so. Unfortunately, we had a death in the band. Our drummer passed away a couple years ago on New Year's Eve, and another former guitar player of ours passed away. We're both dealing with issues, and we've done some recording. We've been asked to do some gigs, but we can't really find a drummer to fill in for us because finding a level-headed drummer, finding a level-headed musician is tough as it is. And schedule-wise, I've been very, very busy. I'm blessed to be this busy. The other guys in the band are, but it's something that it's never goodbye until we see you later. Because Gutter Candy will reemerge, rise from the phoenix again. It's just right now the timing isn't right. Hopefully soon, because I miss it. I miss playing music with those guys, and I miss playing music for the fans of Gutter Candy and wrestling fans that like to see my stuff.
All right, Frankie, thank you so much for your time. I'll wrap it up with this. We'll do a final question after I want to get my TNA Rebellion pay-per-view Sunday, April 27th. Up and down the line, Jordynne Grave. I mean, just go on and on and on. I know she's doing big things with WWE now, but just the talent that was there, the talent that you're with now and all, it's just an incredible lineup, incredible roster. Sunday, April 27th at the Galen Center in the Campus USC in Los Angeles. And then you've got live events also Thursday and Friday, May 1st and 2nd at the Brent Event Center on the campus of UC Irvine in Irvine. It's going to be an action-packed time. It always is. It's so much fun. I got to ask you this, though, Frankie, as we get out of here. We talked a little about the wrestling. We talked the baseball and the music. I'm wondering, Frankie, I don't know if you've ever been asked this question. What would Killer Kowalski think of your music?
Oh, I can guarantee you he would think it sucked. He would probably just think it's noise. Just a lot of but I will say this, he would appreciate the performance part of it because Walter was all about performance. So, we're not a band that just stands on stage and looks at our shoes. We're all action. We got a very vivacious front man that moves a lot. So, as much as I was around Mr. Kowalski, my dear trainer and mentor and friend, we never really talked music. I don't even know if he listened to music. And if he did, it was probably something from a bygone era.
He's listening to Sinatra, come on.
Probably, or maybe some polka music. I don't know. He was Polish after all, so who knows? But but I would like to think, having said that, I would like to think that he's proud of me for what I've done in the ring because part of what I do every day is to honor him.
That is awesome. Thank you. So, Frankie, all the best. You're just doing unbelievable things. Keep doing your thing, having fun. Appreciate your time. Thank you.
Appreciate you. Thank you, my friend.